Welcome to Untamed Blossoms, the podcast where we celebrate the untamed journey of womanhood. Here, we tell the stories of incredible women who have embraced their authenticity, inspiring others to do the same.
From entrepreneurs to artists, activists to adventurers, we share triumphs, challenges, and the beauty of self-discovery. These are the stories of women blazing their own trails, breaking free, and blooming unapologetically.
Join us to connect, be inspired, and celebrate the power of women's stories. Together, let's rewrite the rules and embrace our wildness.
Welcome to Untamed Blossoms. I'm your host, Amanda Riley.
And I'm Cristi Riley. Welcome to the show.
Part 2.
We had already recorded some. Whoopsie. You were talking about...
It's been a while since we've had technical difficulties, so it was only a matter of time.
Sorry.
All we were saying is it's been snowing a little bit here.
It snowed while I was in Mexico.
Yeah.
And it was really warm where I was. And people sent us pictures of snow. And I was like, wow, that's early for that much snow here.
Here's the thing, though. If it's going to be that cold, I personally would prefer snow.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if it's going to be cold, let it snow.
Might as well. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be cold.
Right. Agreed.
What are you going to do?
But if it's going to be cold, bring me snow. It's pretty.
And we had Northern Lights the other day. That was very, very cool.
I appreciate you sending me that picture.
It was very cool. We get a really good view for some reason where we are.
Yeah.
Every time that there are Northern Lights, we definitely see them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I appreciated you.
I like that it was pink and green. It was giving Wicked Part 2 coming out soon. I was like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. I'm digging it. You visited Carrie, you were telling me.
I did visit Carrie. Well,
and despite your 4 hours of karaokeing, you ended up having to cut your trip short because of the snow?
I was going to leave Sunday morning anyway. I would have probably hung out a little bit longer, but the snow belt, if you will, that went through Ohio was just south of Toledo. And so I knew it was just going to keep snowing there. And then if I got 45 minutes out of town heading back to Columbus, it would just be rain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I did leave earlier than I normally would have to beat some of that. But it was just weird to see like it accumulated there so fast. And the night before, we were like outside. We're like, oh my gosh, the leaves. It's such a fall day. You know, and I wake up at 5 a.m. and it's like
wonderland.
A snow globe outside.
It's insane.
Like, wow.
You know,
Ohio really.
It was weird. It was weird because my kids were sending me pictures of their kids outside in their snow gear in what was an inch of snow with fall leaves all around them.
Yeah.
Like the tree still had fall leaves all on them. It's not like it was a wintry scene. It was a weird fall scene with snow on the ground. It was so strange.
It was so crazy.
I think we're going to have a lot of snow this year.
I do too. We are predicted to have a La Nina this year, which comes with a lot of snow and cold. So
yeah,
snow, fine. Freezing cold. When it bites your face off,
it's bad.
I'm like, fuck this.
I know.
I'm not here for this.
I know.
Don't come at me.
Yeah.
Full throttle.
Yeah.
Face freeze.
My husband was not pleased when we got back. He was like,
shocked.
I'm ready to go back down south.
every year we go to Florida in February.
Mm-hmm.
Every year with Noah's family. And every year we come back, I get into a deep, deep sort of state.
But I'm that way in January. We normally leave to go somewhere in January, February, because by that time I'm definitely feeling the blues and need to go somewhere sunny.
A sun lamp. I want to invest in one of those, I think.
That's a good idea.
Because,
a during the day sun lamp. Yeah. That doesn't fuck with your circadian rhythm, but gives you that feeling of sun. I think that's really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know. We can invest in one here for this shop.
And we'll just record laying the sun lamp.
Yeah.
It's interesting. This next, we only have 2 more. This episode, 1 more for our 300 thing list. And this one was about spirituality, inner work, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of struggled with this because I felt like for me, everything I have on this list was in other categories. Did you feel that way? Like
similar. Yeah.
I was like, I'm really struggling. Like I probably have like 10 or 12 unique things, then that's all I'm really going to go through today. And the rest kind of bounced off
everything else.
It might have been a little different, but it was
yeah.
How much different is taking a hike versus taking a meditative hike? You know what I mean?
Right.
How much is a walk in the woods versus looking for fairy portals? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was all very similar in that way. So
yeah,
I don't know about you, how you felt, but
I think mine was similar. I think mine, because of the one we had done just previously, like while I was gone in Mexico, I was finishing them up, and so this one kind of blurred into the last one, and so I was in that same space of, wow, it makes you think about the work that you've done in this category already, where you're at now versus where you want to be. And the thought process that I really went through was, I think in my younger years, I didn't feel secure in who I was enough, that I've been seeking this whole time. I've been seeking, and taking in all this knowledge and taking in all of these different philosophies and different ways of life. When you think about spirituality, for some people, this might be religion, organized religion. It's not for me, but it should be for those of you who do practice a religion, your faith. What does that all include, and where do you see yourself moving from this point forward? And, for me, it was a lot of things on my list was about acceptance, about acceptance of myself where I am and not seeking to be different than that.
Yeah.
And be really comfortable in however I'm going to grow and mature and age. But also, you realize that when you're in that seeking mode, that all that you were seeking was inside.
Totally.
That it's all there. You just have to be comfortable enough and open enough to be okay to be your authentic self, And so I kind of came full circle on this category all the way around, in that just really feeling like accepting of who I am, my authenticity, my true self, and sitting in that no matter what. And so that a lot of my stuff on that list was in that vein.
Yeah. It's interesting because if you would have asked me, let's say 7 years ago, I really started getting into spirituality and all of that. A great example, I would have said, I want to go on a spiritual retreat. And that would have meant for me, though, I still do, by the way, but it's different. Back then, it would have meant for me somewhere aesthetic with other cute girlies and doing yoga on a beach somewhere and drinking green juice, right? That's what that conjured up for me back then. Now I would say, wow, it would be great to go on a spiritual retreat where no one could talk to me. Like I would like to go on a silent retreat. Where I could just not have electronics and not take photos of what was happening. Like I could just be and exist with no one bothering me. And I just think it's a really funny difference to think about what spirituality means and that trip that you go on with spirituality and the road you travel and what it starts off with versus, that's why it's not the girl in the cute wide brim hat and the flowy dress that's true enlightenment. It's the monk that doesn't talk, right? Like you realize through the process that, and no shade, people can do whatever they want, but you just realize through that path, through that process, that what you're seeking is like what you said, what's inside, radical acceptance, and just being without the pressure of performing.
Yeah, the retreats was on mine too, but the spirituality part, and I just said this to somebody else in my close circle this week, is that growth and spirituality growth, it's fucking brutal. It's not flowy. It's not a hat and a flowy skirt and being like, I love myself and I love the world and we're all connected, light and love. No, It's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
It's hard to look, it's hard to reparent yourself. It's hard to look at your shadow self. It's hard to look at the things that where you have abandoned yourself. It's hard to look at where you've been self-sabotaging your life. It's hard to look at
Yeah.
like all of these things that come with spiritual awakenings, right? And all of those things
Yeah.
are fucking hard
And dark.
and dark
And
sad
yes.
and lonely and redoing yourself and really coming home to yourself. Those are all different. They're all just really hard things.
Totally.
And it's not love and light. And I thought it was going to be great. And I'm going to just be so much lighter and happier and joyful. No, not all the time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of dark days. And the end of that comes acceptance of self. And sometimes that's light and love. And sometimes that's great. But a lot of times there's a lot of darkness in that, and really absorbing that and being okay with that and being okay with it not. I think I've been stuck in a pattern of expecting things to be really light and happy and joyful all the time instead of understanding that day-to-day life is just day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And there's moments like looking for the joy in the everyday things that you're doing, looking for the happiness in my kids' eyes and my grandchildren's, like their accomplishments and what they're doing and how they're growing. And, I'm really struggling hard to find it in my doggy today. Like, right. Really looking for those things that keep you positive and keep you happy and joyful and motivated. And realizing that those are the moments that we're really looking for. And those are the moments that make that really, the rest of it really great.
Well, I think that's why gratitude is like the baseline for being awakened and spiritual. Is you think it's all these outside things, but really it's finding gratitude. Like the gratitude is what grounds you, what makes you find those happy spots. Like if you ever have done the path of starting to do like a gratitude journal or starting that practice, at the beginning, it's really like the dumbest shit. You're like, I'm grateful I can breathe today.
I'm grateful I woke up.
And then by week like 7, you're like, I'm grateful for the dewdrop I found on the leaf of a flower in a field in the back of a highway rest stop.
For the tiny little spider I saw in my bathroom today who made the cutest little web. You're noticing things, right? It causes you to start noticing things. It shifts your perspective from finding all the negative things in your life to finding the positive things in your life. That's beautiful. That's what gratitude does for you. And it really is mundane things.
Yeah.
It really is.
Truly.
As you do, I know, my very first sip of coffee in the morning is one of my favorite things all day. It's the very first sip when it's frothy on top out of my little fancy machine. It's hot, and I'm sleepy, and I feel it all the way down to my toes. It's one of the greatest things that I feel all day.
Yeah.
And I look forward to it every morning.
Every day. Yep.
And, it's finding the gratitude in that and being like, wow, I'm so grateful that I get to have coffee every morning.
Right.
That I can afford it. And that I do have a husband that loves gadgets and has bought this fancy machine that does put this lovely froth on the top of my coffee every morning.
Yeah.
And this little cup that I have that keeps it hot because I hate cold coffee.
Yeah.
And, it literally is one of the most simplest and yet one of the highlights of my whole day every day.
That reminds me, Cristi from the show, she sent me a reel the other day, and it was a woman who was drinking traditional tea, like out of a teacup. And she was saying, what's interesting is teacups used to not have handles. Okay. Because the whole point was you hold the teacup, and when it's cool enough to hold, it's cool enough to drink. It teaches you patience. Mm-hmm. It teaches you the art of noticing.
Mm-hmm. And
being present and waiting for them to say, it is time. And I'm grateful now that I get to have this sip of tea or coffee or whatever. And it's just such a beautiful lesson. And when I think about spirituality and growth and inner work, I think my whole life can be summed up with trying to be comfortable with holding a fucking hot
tea cup.
Because boy, is that the biggest lesson. And that can be waiting for the right thing and not jumping to do and sit with your feelings. That can mean a lot of things, but it's like, and the same for, I think what was hard for me about this list is it wasn't as specific as the other list. These were like broad lessons for me that I want to continue working on. And I'll never forget, and maybe it was Dr. Mary, maybe it was Sarah, but I think it was Sarah actually talking about when you are angry or when you're upset with someone, you're the one holding the hot coal. You're the one being injured by having this like strong feeling. They don't know you or care about you or are worried about you. For the most part, when you're so angry, they have no idea that that's even existing and it's only hurting you. You're the one holding the hot coal. And so I think about that a lot of wanting to show up the rest of my life, understanding that if you love and care for someone enough, you have hard conversations and you move on. And if you want to change the world, you do what you can with the people around you and you do the right things and you say the right things and you make sure you're holding people accountable that are close to you. But other than that, you can't just hold the hot coal for the sake of holding it.
Right.
Do what you can do, take action, but you can't just sit there and hold it and expect it to hurt someone else. It's only going to hurt you.
Right.
So.
Right. I love that theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're totally right. And it's good to keep that as a mental image because I think we do that without noticing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, small resentments towards your husband, towards your wife, towards your kids, these little, towards your workmate, like these little things that we just hold on to. And most likely that person doesn't even know that that's annoying you.
Yeah, totally.
It's not bothering them.
Right.
And you just keep hanging on to it and it ruins your day and ruins your morning and your moments. And now I hate my job or I hate my husband or I hate my wife or I hate it just we cause our own misery a lot. Yeah.
I had another lesson. So by the time this airs, it'll be past, so it won't matter. But we're planning a surprise birthday party for Megan.
Yeah.
On my team. And I also had agreed to be in a parade that day. And if that isn't the story of my life, I don't know what is. How do you have a surprise party for someone and a parade the same day that you agreed to? It's just how things happen for me personally. But I had to tell the parade gang, hey, sorry, like this does precede the parade.
Right.
And boy, did I have an internal meltdown for roughly about 5 hours.
Let them down.
I don't like committing and decommitting to things. And things happen, that's fine. But I just don't love that.
So you had to back out of the parade.
I back out of the parade and I hated doing that because I felt like I let people down. Mm-hmm. Either way, I was going to let someone down. 50th birthday parties for me.
Well, somebody that's really intimate in your team.
Yeah, and someone that cares deeply for me and has done so much for me. It
has really shown up as a friend for you.
It was a no-brainer for the decision making, I will say that. It was just my internal guilt of the fallout. And I thought to myself, if my relationship hinges on a parade appearance, then I have other problems.
We should probably question that relationship. Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't, and it's fine. And it's more a story that I tell myself that you have to be dependable. You have to be everything for everyone. You can't let people down.
Doesn't mean things don't come up and you can't change your mind. Yeah.
So
anyway, you are all of those things on a regular basis. And so, it's okay that we change our mind and
it's just stories.
Or if other things come out, it's totally
stories we tell yourself.
Stories we tell ourselves. Yeah.
And you think about wanting to live well and wanting to have a grounded life, and you want to have a life that's peaceful. And it's like so much of that is the stories we tell ourselves and the goals that we hold for other people.
Right. And really how tied we are to what other people think about us and what they think about us. Really, that's a story about that, right? Is that it comes into the storytelling of what we're telling ourselves about what they must think of us, or we're so tied to what their perception is of us that we cause ourselves to have a 5-hour meltdown. Why would we do that to ourselves? Right. And the truth is that the person was like, well, that's a bummer, but okay.
Yeah.
And moved on probably instantly. Yeah. Like it didn't cause them to have a 5-alarm meltdown because, like things like that happen. And, when you plan any event, right? Yeah. Somebody called us about an event and said, man, this came up and it's a conflict and I can't come. And it's, by the way, weeks out.
Okay. Right.
Like,
yeah.
Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate it. Yeah. It wasn't like they called you an hour before the parade. You called an hour before. I'm not gonna be able to make it. Right. Yeah. So we do play these stories, and most of it is
the stories.
Just a story. It's really not. Yeah. And if somebody's upset, then I would expect that if we are friends, you're gonna come to me and say, "Okay, I have some feelings about that."
And that's why I also think too, at this point, from doing so much inner work, for me, this list was more like keep implementing what you've learned. Like, don't just, we all know those people in our lives or even acquaintances that do all this reading or do these workshops, do this stuff, and they're still kind of shit person, right? And I just
never implement.
That's what I'm saying. They learn, they consume, but then they don't ever put into practice what they've learned. And there's so much that I've learned that I know I haven't put into practice.
Yeah.
And it's like instead of like seeking out more information, new information, doing more and more and more, it's like, well, how am I showing up in that every day?
Yeah.
Like, how am I practicing this? Like, I told you a story about how I was able to practice something this week that I've really been working on. And that felt like so good. Like, at first, I was a little scary, I was a little shaky. I was like, oh God, I'm doing this. And I did it. And I felt so much better. And nothing bad happened.
No.
And it's like,
it's
well,
empowering afterwards. You're like,
yeah,
I did it.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah. Proud of myself. Yes.
And if one of the things that you've been working on in your internal growth is setting boundaries, it's like, okay, maybe you can do that with a friend. Can you do that with your family?
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that with your spouse, with your kids? Right. Like there's so many avenues to every relationship or to every situation that it's like, just because you learned how to do something broadly, how are you implementing it to all those different areas? And can you focus on that then?
Agreed.
Yeah, if you want to go first and share some of your lists, that would be cool.
I live every year more aligned with my true self. That was number one. Speak my truth lovingly and without apology. Allow my life to unfold without forcing outcomes. That's been an ongoing one for me.
Yeah.
Trying not to push. Releasing one major limiting belief each year.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. And I think that's about just being interested in what other people have to say, right? I think we get caught up in what we believe.
Yeah.
So much,
Yeah.
right? And I just think that what we believe is exactly that. It's a belief system. And it can be about anything.
Yeah.
About anything. But be curious about what other people know, about what science is finding out, about what we're finding out about each other, about whatever it is, right? Just allow limiting beliefs to just be curious. I just want to be curious, I think is really what that was all about. And then be willing to let something go that I can be like, oh, well, I believe that, but turns out that wasn't true.
Right.
And I think that's hard also for people to be like, turns out that wasn't true.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
and to be able to shift. Trust my gut and intuition as my primary guide. I think as females, that's really just taking a pause and hearing what my gut has to say. Say yes to anything that expands my soul and brings me excitement. Say no to anything that drains my spirit or I'm dreading doing. And I think that's about boundaries. That's also, saying yes when I should be saying no. Celebrate my own uniqueness every single day. And I think that's about comparison. I think I'm pretty good about that most days, but I do think we are unique in our own way, and that's okay. Continue to rewrite old stories that no longer define me. I think I came up with 8. I'll tell a story about that because it's going to be, we went to this resort, okay, in Cabo. Cabo's expensive. It's beautiful, but everything is expensive there. Bottles of water, $10. You're just, when you get bills, you're like,
yeah,
whoa, this is insane. And it wasn't all inclusive, which I was fine with because we don't drink. And, and I'm a person who likes to thrift things. I thrift clothes. I will hang on to swimsuits for years. I will have clothes that I picked up at Target or Walmart. I will have, I'm not tied to labels, and I'm not, and when you get to some of these places where people show up with Gucci and or top to bottom designer outfits, and, then you start looking at people like, well, clearly not dressed that way. Yeah. Right. Like, and there's, I think, moments where old versions of you would have been comparison to be like, oh, I look like, I don't know, whatever. Right. I look like a subclass citizen to this person because I'm not wearing a designer thing. And then I have to really check myself in that moment. And I did. And I'm like, Because you don't believe in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't believe in that.
Right.
That's a
Totally.
fallacy.
Yep.
And so it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
you look adorable.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Relax.
Right? And there was so ingrained with women to do this comparison thing.
Yep.
And I noticed even in my 53-year-old body doing that, not about body comparison, but there was a whole slew of 20 somethings there because people were getting married middle of the week. This is a resort that clearly you got a discount if you came in the middle of the week to get married. There was a lot of Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday weddings while we were there. I was like, wow, who knew?
If you think about it, those are your people. They said, I see a deal, I'm taking it.
Right. And I was like, wow, good for you having a Wednesday destination wedding.
Yep.
Yeah. They were young and they were in tight little bodies and tight little swimsuits and running around and those are versions of myself previous, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where a lot of as I'm sitting there in my 53-year-old body going, learn to love your body as it's aged. You are no longer 25 years old.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be 25 again? No, I do not. Thank you.
Right.
So we can't have that and also have our age. Like we can't have one without the other. Continue to rewrite old stories that no longer define me. Continue to work on reconnecting with humans again, especially my immediate family members in different ways. Learn to soothe my nervous system quickly and lovingly. And that's from a long history of my nervous system being hijacked. You can call that ICU nursing. You can call that childhood trauma. You can call that abandonment by my father. There's a long laundry list of reasons my nervous system has been a wreck. And so trying to stay grounded, trying to stay in my body and trying to notice when, even to this day, I'll be sitting or laying in bed and all of a sudden I realize that every muscle in my body is tight.
Yeah.
I've clenched my butt cheeks, my back is tight, my leg. I'm literally sitting there in a fucking clenched position.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening.
Yeah.
I'm just, right? And I have to literally woosah, girl.
Yeah.
You're okay. And so I'm still continuing to navigate my body system that way. Develop emotional mastery, not emotional avoidance. Create a sacred morning ritual that I love. Create a sacred evening ritual that helps me shut down my brain and facilitate sleep. That goes back to the previous one. Practice grounding as much as I can each day, which is also another repeat. Make sure that I'm grateful every day for all the blessings in my life. Learn to inhabit my body completely at all times.
What do you mean by that?
I think there's times when I seek avoidance of being in my body. And I don't know why that is. I seek distraction. And sometimes that's distraction in physical nature, like going and doing stuff, like working. Instead of just being really in tune with what's happening inside of me.
Yeah.
I will abandon that to other tasks. And so just truly being comfortable and inhabiting my space all the time without fear of or worry about others, what I need to be doing, what I should be doing for other people. It's more of that. I think I exit my body to be in caretaker mode as a two. I think it's something that we really, at least I do, that I really struggle with. I immediately want to be in helper mode all the time. So just coming back to home, just staying in my body. You can still be a helper and be in your body, but not abandoning that space regularly to be more worried about what somebody is needing or thinking or wanting or, scanning the room. And I think that's part of the nervous system part and part of understanding that I'm flinched for no reason and trying to figure out why that's happening when I'm in a safe space and in my own home with no reason to be that. So what's happening? Why is my body being hijacked? And I'm suddenly aware of it, but why wasn't I aware of it when it was happening? So I was clearly outside of my body when that started to happen. And then I suddenly became aware of it. So it's more of that presence piece to understand why that's happening. practice sacred rest, especially in the winter months. That's really hard for me to sit
Yeah.
and not do
Oh,
things.
totally.
Really hard.
Yeah.
I understand that everyone I meet and interact with is me. It's a reflection of me or a teacher for me.
Yep.
Release fully any residual need to fix people.
What?
Become a safe space for someone or someone's.
Love that.
Practice unconditional love without self-abandonment. This is a lot of the same theme. Let go of attachments and beliefs that keep me playing small. In places. I don't think that I do that in a big way regularly, but
Right.
I think sometimes that still plays a role.
Right.
Express my soul through creativity, art, and play. Create beauty in my home as a spiritual practice. I never thought about my creativity and the fact that I can make spaces pretty as a spiritual practice, but it
Yeah.
really does soothe my soul. So for some people, it's meditation. For me, you know, and I think that's the struggle that I have sometimes with our new little pet is I create a Zen space and he goes behind me and
This
undoes it.
shall not.
And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna not be okay with you for a minute. Build or join a women's groups that shares in my journey and path. And I think that's been a journey that we've been on
Yeah.
through this podcast. Speak and share my story with vulnerability and power, as I think that's really important. Share my wisdom generously, give love freely without expecting it a return of any kind. Support causes and groups that align with my soul. Be a channel for peace wherever I go. Be a living example of healing in motion, and release the need to be understood by everybody.
Those are so good.
That's my list.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you think about some of that inner work and you think about, I have to spend my whole life undoing some shit.
Yes.
But my whole life, I'm going to have to worry about my nervous system. I'm going to have to declench myself. I'm going to have to, my whole life, there's some things that your body just remembers.
Yep. Yep.
Then you're like, this is a life journey.
I mean, listen, I'm seeking out all the somatic therapies currently. I'm like,
Yeah.
can I release some of this? Like, this is clearly past trauma that just is in my, living and taking up residence in my body that needs to just be
I think it can get
evacuated.
easier, but it's always something you're going to always have to work towards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And just watching my body be, I mean, my shoulders are always tight. I'm always sore in my shoulders and my neck. It's a constant. And I know it's because I'm tense all the time.
Bracing.
And I'm always bracing for some sort of something to come and be at me. And my husband's like, you never sleep. You're always on duty.
Yeah.
If I shift, you're awake.
Yeah.
Because you never get into deep sleep. It's somewhat creepy, but also concerning because you never get into deep sleep, especially since menopause. And so, it's all in that same vein of this this subtle alertness lives in my body all the time. That's basically driving the boat.
Yeah.
And it's driving the boat when I'm not paying attention. And I'm like, hey, well, this is clearly something I need to be focused on so that I don't feel like I'm at this tense stage all the time. That there's zero reason in my life for me to be tense constantly. And yet I'll find myself that way on a regular basis every day. I'll be like,
what's going on here?
Relax your shoulders, I go through that whole meditative relaxation of your body.
Yeah.
Because I realize that I'm all tensed up for no real reason.
Right.
I'm waiting on something.
Yeah.
And then my biofeedback lady's like, oh, your adrenals are fucked. Shocker.
Like, what?
You have some high cortisol happening. Oh, I'm waiting for some sort of trauma to show up. It's so, when you talk about healing work and the spiritual journey, that's part of it is just also recognizing what's taken up residence in your body because your body remembers all of it.
Totally.
And even if you've done the mental work, it doesn't mean that you've released it out of your body. And so figuring out how to do that, I think exercise helps me with that a ton, which is probably why I've always been drawn to it.
Yep.
In all fairness, but I'm just always, I'm just always finding myself in that situation. And so I'm really trying hard to stay in my body, to pay attention to when that shows up and why.
Love that.
It's always a journey, you know what I mean? Process.
a long process.
Fuck.
You think it's going to be one summer. They're staring 40 down the barrel.
Yeah. And years later. Still learning some shit. You know what I mean?
I do this thing sometimes where I look at my memories on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you dabble in your memories. There is nothing I relate to less than myself 10 years ago.
Mm.
Okay. When I read some of the stuff I put on Facebook,
Cringe.
when I think of inner self, the journey I've been on, nothing takes me back quicker down that road than a status of a dashboard confessional song in 2008. And I'm like, what was I possibly going through that I thought everyone on Facebook needed to know about? You know what I mean? Like, and it was just such a attention seeking. I need people to, I want people to worry about me. I want people to like ask me. Now, one might say I went really far in the other direction sometimes. And through my journey, I realized I was replicating a pattern I saw throughout my life. And that's how I thought you got attention and affection. But I've always done this weird balance of one observation I took was where you just don't ever talk about anything and then no one knows and then they can't really boss you. Or you share everything that's happening with you so you get attention. And so I've always teeter-tottered on that my whole life. Yeah. Right. And there's been times I'm telling you, there was something about that sweet spot right after college that I was like, I need attention desperately. Mm. Right? Like I really clearly, really 2008, 2009, 2010, begging for it. Then I shifted so hard into no one will ever know what's happening with me. I'm not going to tell a single person what's going on with me. And I'm just like, what a crazy town place my mind is. Looking back at those.
But I'm sure, were there events? There are events that caused that to flip?
Probably so. I think there were events, and I think that it was just learning myself. Yeah. Because what I realized is what I thought I got from people worrying about me and attention was not what I really wanted. I thought that's what I wanted, but it really wasn't. And then I just became fiercely independent. And those were conversations, relationships that happened that helped me form that, right? When things aren't going great in a relationship, hide is key. Like I'm not trying to get any attention for that. You know what I mean? I don't want anyone knowing any of that. Right. So it was a lot of events and all of those things. But I think for me, that was a good reminder of this journey is like thinking about that and looking back at what I said so many years ago and how little I can even resonate with that person. And then I think, what if the same thing happens with this podcast? What if 10 years later I listen to an episode and think, well, you thought you knew, you know, like.
Well, no, it's 100% going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
For sure.
And in some ways that's the terrifying part for me. Yeah. Right. Is that it's out here for the world. Yep. And that, you know, it's not like they will have timestamps on them, but you know what I'm saying? Like, well, that was 10 years ago, you know, and things come, people change, you get new information, you change your opinions about things. We're definitely not going to be the same people in 10 years.
From the 80s and thought that didn't age well. You know what I'm saying? Right, like, yikes, shouldn't have said that. You know, like you do with what you have with the information that you have. So you're right, totally
correct. Correct. We're going to expect it. And we put ourselves out here anyway.
Totally. It looks like I've never stopped, actually. So I say all that to say what helped me formulate this list was the core of this list for me is radical acceptance. Radical acceptance. This is where you were. This is where you are now. You don't know where you're going later. You've learned so many lessons. I'm not going to go into a lot of my specifics because they're very much like keep setting boundaries, keep making sure you're not apologizing for things. Make sure that you, for example, I've gotten so much better for not taking on people's emotions, trying to fix everything. But in social situations, I still want to smooth things over desperately as they're unfolding in front of my eyes. That is such a I can't even think about what I'm doing while it's happening. I just start acting. Mm-hmm. And then later I'm like, God, I did that again. Like, it's like this, it lives so, like, I feel like it's like knowing that you have been taken over by a demon. I watch a lot of Exorcist movies, and that it's like living right under your skin, and you're fine. All of a sudden, it just like comes out, and like you're like, "Can someone exorcise this already?" Like, I don't want this living in me. I don't want this demon in here coming out when I can't control when it happens, and I will be in a situation. Literally, I start to feel it's almost like a temperature rise around me of people not getting along, and I am just like, take it over. Take it over. I'm here. And then I start smoothing it all down.
Yeah.
And so that's just something that I know is gonna be a lifelong battle for me.
Yeah.
Of not dealing with that.
Yeah.
I'm not the one.
Right.
You know?
It's not your job.
No.
Not your job. Never was your job. But you got really good at it.
So good.
Got good at it. Your safety as a child probably depended on it.
Yeah.
And so you got really good at it. It's a defense mechanism and it's a trauma response. And so, when you label it, like, listen, it's the same thing as your mind, right? The people who say, name your mind, give her a name.
Yeah.
So when she starts,
Derek.
Yeah. When she starts acting up,
yeah,
you say, listen, Demon Derek,
you scram,
fucking simmer down. We don't need you here. Right. And then it allows you to disassociate from it, that's not who I am. This is a thought pattern, a thought process, a way of being, a way of surviving that no longer serves me.
Right.
I can put you down.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you're not going to still be like, you sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
hey, I'm still here if you want to use me.
Yeah.
And you have to be cognizant enough and separate yourself enough to be like, oh, I see you. No, I don't need you.
Yeah.
These are grown-ass adults. They'll figure it out.
It'll be
or
fine.
They won't.
Right. And also, it's fine.
But also not my problem.
Right. It's okay. It's just something that I'm like, man.
But it's hard to overcome those. Those are thought patterns that we all have that no longer serve us, that truly don't serve us in every way.
Yeah.
And is really doing harm to ourselves that we have to let go of.
Yeah.
And you're working in that direction. It's not linear.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect at it every time. Doesn't mean you're going to tell the Demon Derek every time to settle down. Sometimes Demon Derek's going to take over.
Again, it's like it is like a possessed entity. Like, I don't even know until it's too late. And I'm like, who was she? I don't even know. I wasn't even here.
It's the same way with me with helping people.
Yeah.
It's like, my husband's notorious. He's broken me of the habit quite a bit because he'd be like, help me less.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't ask you to help me.
Yeah.
Help me less.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I think I'm being helpful.
Right.
When really I'm being annoying
right.
or interruptive or all of these other things, right? My need to control that, thinking I can do it better. Same. It's the same, really. Is your Demon Derek? It's the same. It's a control dynamic that you're that you think that you can handle better than whoever it is that's in front of you.
And unfortunately, when people show you they can't handle it well, you're like, see.
But at the
what
same
would
time,
you do without me? And then you ruin your whole life by doing it. And it's like, again, you're holding the hot coal.
Yep.
And so that's just something that it's going to take a long time. And that's okay. I do it less.
Yeah.
And I'm more, the worst part for me, like, let's say we host an event here. Say two people don't like each other, are near each other. I feel it brewing.
Right.
I try to simmer it down. What's horrible for me is the person that I am. People like to confide in me about, well, can you believe when this blah, blah, blah happened? And I'm like, see, I should have stepped in because now I have to hear about it. And it makes me feel, I'm feeling cringe about it. And I'm like, why didn't I could have done something about it then. And just like, but you can't. And people are still going to have the same thoughts. It's just something that's always going to be a menace for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think, coming down to some of these other ones, it's like conflict buffer. That was what that is really. But just like being authentic myself, like authentically, what I would like to do in this moment is just walk away. And then when someone brings it up again, be like, yeah, I don't really know. That feels great to me. That feels like so much fun to be able to be like, I'm gonna moonwalk my way out of this.
See ya.
And then when you talk about it, I'm not gonna have any idea what you're talking about because I removed myself from the situation.
Right.
That feels authentic.
Yeah.
But again, radical acceptance and just saying like, this is who I am. It's cool. I'm going to evolve and change. Every version's fine. It's okay.
It sounds like you need to talk to that person.
Yeah. Sounds like I'm not
Sounds
involved.
like you need to have a conversation with them and not me.
Right.
You know, and I've heard you say that, and I think that has been a shift for you, and being like, I'm not going to be the dumping ground for everybody's, you know, because as the conflict resoluter, is that the right word? Resolute person.
Yeah.
You become the dumping ground of everybody venting about what they're upset about the other person.
Right.
That's not fun for anyone. I'm friends with both of you. This is a shitty thing for you to put me in the middle of, right? Yeah. I don't want to listen to that.
Right.
I don't want to be the middle person to hear both of your woes. Have a conversation and then leave me out of it. Yep. If you guys care about me at all, you leave me the fuck out.
And trust me.
But because you put yourself in the middle, there's no way for you to put that boundary in after you've stepped in to smooth things over and be the buffer person.
And that's why I've gotten so much better, because I realized that I really, really did. And I've gotten, oh my God, the shit I get myself in the middle of was insane.
Right.
And I definitely don't have that anymore. Yeah. Or like people can talk to me about how they're feeling, and I don't have to take it on and like ask more probing questions that then makes them divulge more information, and then it escalates it. Like, I can just listen to them with compassion. Like, I'm so sorry that you're feeling that way. I don't have to
agree, disagree, take sides.
Just the learnings that I've come across, like that usually says more about how they're feeling, not how you're feeling. I can smooth it in a way that like helps it redirect to that person, and like having them think about things versus me solving. Right. So it's gotten better. It's one of those things. I'm like, God, this is
an ongoing battle. I hear you.
A few other things, you know, I do want to go on a mushroom trip hard, and I want to see what's out there in this space for me to learn and take from the plant.
Yeah.
A lot of things I've already talked about so much, you know, doing yoga is really important for me, and something I drop very quickly when I don't think I have the funds for or the time. And it's something that's really beneficial. So that's something I need to continue working on, that meditation, continuing reparenting, making sure that those wounds are as tidied up as they can be. Decentering social media. It's really, really hard for what I do for all of my ways of making revenue. Right. But using it for like a work tool versus anything else. Right. My goal was to read 25 books this year. I'm at like 22 with a month and a half left. Every time I went in on social media right now, it's easy because I am so goal oriented. I'm so competitive with myself, even that I'm like, well, you could scroll social media or you could work on the next book.
Or just read a book.
Because you are behind on your goal that you set in Goodreads. And Goodreads notifies you of your progress. And so I'm like, well, I can't fail this.
Yeah.
And my goal next year will be 30 books.
Nice.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
Art of noticing, slowing down, centering joy, rest, all of these things on my list.
Yeah.
So
we have pretty similar lists.
Yeah. And as I've mentioned a bunch of times, it's more, what have you learned? How are you implementing that?
Right.
How are you continuing to know yourself? And like you said, being in your body and being present when things happen and saying, how am I going to show up for this?
Yeah.
So
take a minute. I think all women could benefit from just, when you're asked a question, take 2 or 3 breaths, see where it lands in your body.
Yeah.
Before you answer.
Totally.
Before you commit, before you say yes. Yeah. I had a panic. Amanda wants to take me to a dance class for my birthday.
We already signed up.
But you said, do you want this? And I am in the middle of my biofeedback session, and I was like, oh my God, it sounds like a blast. Amanda immediately books it. I should have known that.
Yeah.
As soon as she sent me the confirmation, I have a panic moment because I didn't look at the date.
It's a morning.
I just looked at the class and I was like, sounds great. Let's do it. Didn't realize that she was the screenshot without my glasses on was actually of a date of a class that per her normal behavior, she would then immediately book.
Yes.
And I was like, do I have anything else that day? Oh God, I've said yes. And now she's booked it. And now I don't even know if it's, I had this immediate, like, I don't even know what's on my calendar that day. What date is this? So, I should have slowed down. It was a nice reminder for me in that moment to not multitask like I Sagittarianly like to do.
Yeah.
To read what you actually sent me in all details with my glasses on.
Yeah.
So I can actually read it.
Yeah.
And then respond to you and kind,
Yeah.
you know? And I've been working with a designer. We had her on, Katie Carey, for the garden. And I was at first when we started working together, I was like, why is she taking so long to respond to me by a text? Like sometimes days. So foreign.
Yeah.
I mean, you start reading into a whole bunch of things, you know.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh no, this was just so important. I wanted to make sure that I gave you a really mindful response.
Right. Like, well, I'll be damned. Didn't know that was an option. Wow.
So, but I also know that if I don't respond to Amanda fairly quickly, that she also will have the opposite reaction and be like,
She's mad.
she's mad at me.
The thing is, the thing that's funny is
Something's happening.
I said to myself this. Okay. I want to take Cristi to a dance class. Plates is hard.
Right.
All these places we already went through a trial and tribulation of last year. We went on a line dance and on my birthday thing, and we experienced a very, very late start time. So then I said to myself, okay.
Which we don't love.
No.
We just said we want to be asleep at 6 p.m.
Also, we want this to be like a workout too.
Right.
Like
right.
I know us.
Right.
Like, and I said, okay, it won't be on your birthday.
No.
And even if you do have something, probably not at 10:45 on a Saturday morning.
Right.
You know,
no,
like
I was totally fine.
But you know, like it's
totally
funny
free.
because my process is then like trying to figure out what you would like, and then how, based on past experiences and all the knowledge I knew of your family, I'm like, no one's gonna get up, no one's gonna be at her house at 10 a.m.
No.
on that Saturday. Like this is probably
But her ass will be up. She'll be up.
Been up at that
half our day. We're half our day in.
Half our day. So I thought it's just funny, like you know, like when you're close to somebody, then and you're someone who is hyper vigilant, right? I was like, I'm gonna look up every class that's close, not too far, in the morning, high intensity, too high intensity.
Love it. It was perfect. It was just a nice lesson. I use as an example, Katie, thank you for being a lovely example of taking your time and really being mindful in responses and not being tied to your phone and or needing to respond to people quickly for things that doesn't require an immediate response. Even though in this day and age, we believe that text messaging and calling people means
right now.
You have to get a hold of me right now. And I have to be available to you right now all the time. And that's a lot of pressure for a lot of people. And I don't love it. My kids laugh like, Mom, you never answer your phone. And I'm like,
pressure. I mean, we've been recording for 52 minutes. I have 17 text messages on 3 missed calls.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
I'm like, think about that. I would have responded to all of those in real time had we not been recording.
Correct.
That's a lot in 1 hour.
It's a lot. It's a lot of pulling of your time that I don't think people clock all the time. Is that we're constantly getting distracted from whatever it is we're doing by the notifications on our phone, people calling, texting, wanting things, and the desire to not disappoint them by being immediately available. And I just, sometimes I'm like, hey, I want to go to work out, or I was outside, or I was on the mower. I was, like, if you can't reach me for 2 hours because I was doing something, I'm sorry.
Totally.
So that's more my generation. I think it's easier for my generation than it is for yours because you kind of grew up with it in your hand.
Right. Well, but not really. I mean, that's what we're the weird generation, right? Half our lives we never did, the other half we did. So
right.
It's a weird push and pull, but then you have all the guilt. So
there's that.
Please, guys, make sure you're sharing the list with us. And
please.
It doesn't even have to be on social media. You don't have to tag us. You can just text us. We would love to hear from you or email us and let us know your experience so far. We only have one more of these.
I know. So, share it with us, share it with your family, share it with friends. This is meant to be a connective experience, and it has been for us and our family, and we hope that it is for you guys.
Yep. Give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook. We are on YouTube, iHeart, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
This should be coming out around Christmas. Please, as a Christmas present to us, give us a review on our platforms, please. We would appreciate it. It helps us a ton. Thank you guys.
Love you.
Love you.